There is a phone call that most seniors have never made, a single conversation with their bank that takes under 15 minutes. And for the average senior account holder, that conversation recovers somewhere between $800 and $1,200 in fees that were either incorrectly charged, legally prohibited, or applied to their account without the disclosure that federal law specifically requires. This isn't a negotiation. It isn't a complaint that disappears into a void. It is a precisely worded, legally grounded request using specific language that bank compliance departments are trained and obligated to respond to. Because the moment a customer invokes the correct federal statute by name, the bank's regulatory exposure shifts entirely. The reason most seniors have never made this call isn't a lack of willingness to push back against their bank. It's that nobody has ever handed them the exact words to say. A general complaint produces a general response, and you can maybe a one-time courtesy waiver and a suggestion to switch account types. A legally specific request, one that names the actual federal regulation, identifies the precise violation, and states the exact remedy being sought, produces an entirely different outcome. Banks reverse fees when customers demonstrate they understand which law was broken. They rarely reverse fees for customers who only know they feel frustrated. This video gives you the exact script, word for word, for 5 specific fee categories where federal law is clearly on your side, and where the average total recovery across all 5 exceeds $1,200. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. This is exactly the kind of information I deliver every single week. Free, plain English, straight to seniors who deserve to keep every dollar the law says is theirs. Why banks charge fees? Federal law restricts. The mechanism behind this problem is automation. Your bank's fee schedule is not reviewed by a human being every time it gets applied to your account. A fee rule gets programmed into the system. The system applies that fee to every account meeting the triggering conditions. Balance dips below a threshold. A certain transaction occurs. A service period expires. The system does not verify whether your account qualifies for an exemption. It does not check whether the fee was properly disclosed. It simply charges and moves on. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau estimated in its 2023 annual report that American consumers paid over $12 billion in bank fees that year, a significant portion of which were either improperly disclosed, applied to exempt accounts, or charged above the regulatory cap. The bank isn't acting maliciously. The bank is automated, and that automation operates under one default assumption, that most customers won't know which fees to challenge or which law to reference. That assumption holds true for the overwhelming majority of account holders. It will not hold true for anyone who watches this video completely. Call Script 1. Monthly maintenance fee. Waiver. Most seniors paying a monthly maintenance fee believe it is simply a fixed cost of having a bank account. That belief is almost always wrong. Every major bank account agreement contains specific waiver conditions, minimum balance thresholds, direct deposit requirements, or age-based senior qualifications under which the monthly fee drops to zero. The bank's automated system doesn't verify whether your account satisfies those conditions. It charges the fee and processes refunds only when customers request them with sufficient legal specificity. The Truth in Savings Act, implemented under Federal Reserve Regulation DD, requires that all deposit account fees be clearly disclosed and that any waiver conditions be explicitly stated in the account agreement. If your account meets a waiver condition and you've been charged the fee regardless, the bank has collected money without the contractual basis the agreement establishes. That is a recoverable charge, not a matter of bank policy, but of contract law. The exact and script. I'm calling to request a refund of monthly maintenance fees charged to my account. Under my account agreement, the monthly maintenance fee is waived when a qualifying direct deposit is received each month. My Social Security payment has deposited directly to this account every month for years. I have been charged the monthly maintenance fee during this period, in violation of the waiver condition stated in my account agreement. I am requesting a full refund of all monthly maintenance fees charged during the period my account qualified for the waiver under the Truth in Savings Act disclosure requirements. I would like to speak with someone in your fee resolution or compliance department. The phrase compliance department is the escalation trigger. Customer service representatives handle general complaints. Compliance departments handle regulatory exposure. The moment you ask for compliance, the entire nature of the call changes. Expected recovery. Monthly maintenance fees range from $12 to $25 per month. A 2-year refund at $15 per month totals $360. At $25 per month, it reaches $600. This single call frequently produces the largest individual recovery of all 5 scripts. Call script 2. Overdraft fee on an unapproved transaction. Type: most seniors assume an overdraft fee is simply the cost of spending, beyond what the account's held at that moment. Under current federal regulation, that assumption is outdated and frequently incorrect. CFPB Regulation E requires that banks obtain affirmative, documented opt-in consent from account holders before charging overdraft fees on debit card transactions and ATM withdrawals. If you never signed a document specifically opting into overdraft coverage for debit transactions, every overdraft fee charged on a debit card purchase was collected without legal authorization. CFPB Regulation E, Section 1005.17, prohibits financial institutions from imposing a fee for covering an ATM or one-time debit card transaction, resulting in an overdraft, unless the consumer has affirmatively opted into the institution's overdraft service for those specific transaction types. That opt-in must be documented in writing and retained by the bank. If the bank cannot produce a signed opt-in form for your account, every debit card overdraft fee is subject to a full refund demand. Additionally, CFPB guidance finalised in 2024 caps courtesy overdraft fees at $8. Any overdraft fee above $8 on a transaction you never opted into exceeds the regulatory cap and is refundable on that basis alone. The exact script. I am calling to request documentation and a refund related to overdraft fees on my account. Under CFPB Regulation E, Section 1005.17, overdraft fees on debit card transactions and ATM withdrawals require affirmative, written opt-in consent from the account holder. I have no record of signing an overdraft opt-in form for these transaction types. I am requesting a copy of any signed opt-in documentation on file for my account. If no such documentation exists, I am requesting a full refund of all overdraft fees charged on debit card transactions on my account for the past 2 years. Please escalate this to your compliance department. Expected recovery. Overdraft fees range from $25 to $35 per occurrence. A senior charged 4 overdraft fees annually for 2 years without a valid opt-in form on file has between $200 and $280 in recoverable fees from this script alone. Call script 3. Paper statement fee without proper disclosure. Banks introduced paper statement fees in recent years, typically $1 to $5 per month, framed as an environmental initiative. What most account holders don't realise is that the Truth in Savings Act requires advance written notice before any new fee is introduced on an existing account. A fee introduced by embedding a notice inside a monthly statement, the very document the customer is now being charged to receive, does not satisfy the advance notice requirement. The fee was introduced without compliant disclosure and is therefore not a valid contractual modification. Federal Reserve Regulation DD requires that consumers receive advance notice of any fee change that adversely affects them. That notice must be clear, conspicuous, and delivered in a manner reasonably expected to reach the consumer's attention. A fee change buried within the terms and conditions section of a monthly statement does not meet this standard under current regulatory guidance. The exact script. I am calling to request documentation and a refund of paper statement fees charged to my account. Under the Truth in the Savings Act and Federal Reserve Regulation DD, any new fee requires advance written notice that clearly draws the account holder's attention to the fee change before it is introduced. I am requesting a copy of the advance notice your institution provided before the paper statement fee was introduced on my account, specifically the date it was sent, the method of delivery, and any documentation of my acknowledgement. If compliant advance notice was not provided, I am requesting a full refund of all paper statement fees charged on my account. Please escalate this to your compliance department. Expected recovery. At $3 per month over 2 years, recovery totals $72 per account. Across 3 accounts at the same institution, that reaches $216. This is typically the fastest and least contested of the 5 scripts. Sai coin on year. Banks frequently reverse paper statement fees immediately once Regulation D is specifically invoked. Call script 4. Savings account excessive transaction fee. Many seniors have been charged fees for exceeding the transaction limit on their savings accounts, typically 6 transactions per month, believing this limit is a permanent federal requirement. It is not. Federal Reserve Regulation D, which imposed that 6 transaction monthly limit, was suspended indefinitely on April 24, 2020. Any excessive transaction fee charged after that date without an independent contractual basis in the current account agreement is a fee without regulatory foundation. Banks may maintain their own internal transaction limits, but only if those limits are clearly disclosed as an independent contractual term in the current account agreement, not merely as a reference to the old Regulation D requirement. Any excessive transaction fee based solely on the suspended federal regulation is a fee the bank no longer has regulatory authority to collect. The exact script: I'm calling to request a refund of excessive transaction fees charged on my savings account. Federal Reserve Regulation D, which previously imposed a 6 transaction monthly limit on savings accounts, was suspended indefinitely on April 24, 2020. My account agreement references Regulation D as the basis for the transaction limit without providing an independent contractual limit. Fees charged on the basis of a suspended federal regulation without an independent contractual basis are not legally supportable. I am requesting a full refund of all excessive transaction fees charged on my savings account since April 24, 2020. Please escalate this to your compliance department. Expected recovery. Excessive transaction fees range from $5 to $15 per occurrence. A senior charged 3 times annually for 3 years, at $10 per occurrence, has $90 in recoverable fees. Higher frequency users recover proportionally more. Call script 5. Minimum balance fee on a direct deposit account. Minimum balance fees charged when an account balance drops below a specified threshold are among the most common fees on senior checking accounts. The misconception is that this fee applies uniformly regardless of other account characteristics. In virtually every major bank account agreement, that is simply not accurate. Direct deposit of a qualifying amount and Social Security payments universally qualify, exempts the account from the minimum balance fee under waiver conditions written directly into the account agreement. The bank's automated system charges the fee based on balance alone and never cross-references direct deposit status against the fee exemption. The contractual basis for this refund is the account agreement itself, specifically the minimum balance fee waiver condition, listing direct deposit as an exempting factor. The bank cannot credibly argue the fee was properly applied when its own account agreement clearly states the condition under which it is waived. The exact script: I'm calling to request a refund of minimum balance fees charged to my account. My account agreement states that the minimum balance fee is waived when a qualifying direct deposit is received each month. My Social Security payment, which exceeds the qualifying direct deposit threshold stated in my account agreement, has deposited directly to this account every month. I have been charged minimum balance fees during periods when my account received qualifying direct deposits in violation of the waiver condition written into my account agreement. I am requesting a full refund of all minimum balance fees charged during months in which a qualifying direct deposit was received. Please escalate this to your compliance department. Expected recovery. Minimum balance fees range from $8 to $15 per month. A 2-year refund at $12 per month totals $288. Combined with the monthly maintenance fee recovery from Script 1, these 2 scripts alone frequently exceed $600 in total recovery. What to do when the bank says no? If your bank denied the refund request on the first call, that denial is almost always a customer service decision, not a compliance decision. The way to escalate without additional phone calls is filing a formal CFPB complaint. Go to consumerfinance.gov and select Submit a Complaint. In the complaint narrative, include the specific fee category, the date range of charges, the total amount at issue, the federal statute you cited during your call, the bank's response, and the exact remedy you are requesting. The CFPB transmits the complaint directly to the institution's regulatory compliance team within 2 business days. The institution must respond within 15 calendar days and provide a substantive resolution within 60 days. The complaint is logged in the CFPB's public database, directly affecting the institution's regulatory examination record. Banks reverse fees through the CFPB complaint process at a significantly higher rate than through direct customer service calls. Audacity, because a documented regulatory record costs far more than a simple $200 refund. How far back you can demand a refund. Under the Truth in Savings Act, the federal statute of limitations for civil claims is 1 year from the date of the violation. Under most state consumer protection statutes, the recovery period extends to 2 to 4 years. California, New York, and Illinois each provide 4-year windows. Most other states provide 2 to 3 years. Always request a refund covering the past 2 years on your first call. If the bank offers only 12 months, respond with this exact sentence. My state consumer protection statute provides a multi-year recovery window for undisclosed or improperly charged account fees. I am requesting a refund for the full statutory period. Then file the CFPB complaint if the bank declines to agree within the first call. For most seniors pursuing all 5 scripts across the full 2-year recovery window, the total refund falls between $900 and $1,400. Final thought. Your bank is not charging you these fees because you deserve to pay them. Your bank is charging you because its systems are automated and because the entire fee revenue model depends on one assumption: that most customers won't know which fees are legally challengeable or which statute to cite. You now have 5 specific scripts. Each one names the exact federal law, each one states the exact remedy, each one includes the escalation trigger that moves the conversation from customer service to compliance. And you have the CFPB complaint process ready for any denial that doesn't resolve immediately. The law protects you far more than the institutions collecting money from you want you to realize. The only thing standing between most seniors and that protection is knowing which law applies and the exact words to invoke it. You now have both. Make the calls. Share this video with one senior in your life, because the person you are thinking of right now is almost certainly paying at least one of these fees every single month and has never been given the legal language to stop it. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and I will see you in the next one.